You see, Christmas time in Jamaica, it's all about the food, the family, and the vibes. And nobody does it better than CVM.
And listen, you see my gunga rice and peas, it's so good. Make us start to sing. Make the Christmas get you.
Oh, look at no, bother with it, please. Let's stick to hosting, IT. Let's leave the singing to the voice box kids on CVM. Not you, though.
This Christmas, we are bringing the taste of the season right into your home.
Ooh, now this is how you do a seafood broil. But don't worry, we'll show you how on CVM Cook Shop. From your favorite Christmas recipes to all the holiday entertainment, stay locked in to CVM Television.
So from our CVM family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, Carlton here, host of Corner Office, stopping by to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so very much for your support during this year. Every single week you're tuned in and the support is just overwhelming and I am so appreciative. I want you to take some time, slow down this Christmas. Have some cake, some sorrel chocolate. But remember just to get some rest because we have some goals to tackle in 2025 and we want them to be a winning year for you. All the very best and I'll see you next year.
It's Thursday, December 19, 2024. This is CVM News at noon. I'm Ramon Gordon. A man is dead after a suspected hit-and-run in Mandeville, Manchester. Around 4:40 a.m. Thursday, passers-by found the body near a spot locally known as Keep Left. The victim, who suffered multiple lacerations, has not yet been identified. Police are currently investigating the incident. And 9 people were detained this morning during a major police operation in Porus, Manchester. The operation, led by Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, comes in response to a recent surge in violence, including a double murder and threats against the police station following a fatal police shooting.
Are looking for some persons within the space that we believe are influencing the violence in the space. Some, we understand, are still here and some have migrated from the space. So I just want to take this opportunity to reach out to the good citizens, the good residents of the greater Porus area, right, to just partner with us, right, because our effort is really to ensure their own safety and security.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, has confirmed that Estate Bridge Holdings Limited breached its building permit for a townhouse development in Beverly Hills, Kingston. Inspectors found unauthorized changes, including bigger rooms and reconfigured layouts, exceeding the approved plans for 4 two-bedroom units. Mayor Andrew Swaby acknowledged monitoring lapses that allowed construction to continue after the permit expired in 2023. The KSAMC is reviewing its procedures to prevent future violations. And the opposition is turning up the heat on Norman Brown, chairman of the UDC and HAJ, with Senator Floyd Morris renewing calls for his resignation. This follows the KSAMC's confirmation of building permit breaches by Estate Bridge Holdings Limited, where Brown is a director. Senator Morris claims the incident highlights double standards in governance, noting that others have been held accountable for similar violations. Details on the breaches, Brown's response, and the fallout coming up at 7. Co-chair of the soon-to-be-dissolved Economic Program Oversight Committee, Keith Duncan, says Jamaica's economic reform policies have matured significantly. He notes that during the committee's tenure, the systems were strengthened and proved highly effective. Speaking on Lead Story last evening, Duncan described the program as a success spanning multiple political administrations.
Structural benchmarks, we have quantitative performance criteria that must be made because there are fiscal rules that are in place in terms of what kind of deficit you can run or not run. or you must run a fiscal surplus, you must reduce your debt by a certain percentage every year.
Yes.
And that's how we're able to get to a 68% debt to GDP ratio now. And therefore the program in terms of the policy commitments to establish an independent central bank where the politicians don't control the printing of money because printing of money is inflationary and to set a low and stable inflation target range of 4 to 6% and assiduously work to be within that range and to set up the independent fiscal commission, which rule is to ensure that we remain fiscally responsible and we follow the rules and guidelines of the fiscal responsibility framework. That architecture has been set up, and therefore we have matured as a country, and we don't necessarily need that civil society oversight. But we do have a fiscal advisory committee that will be in place to advise the fiscal commissioner. So we still do have some civil society representation.
Still on fiscal responsibility, member of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, Donovan Wignall, is warning that lack of discipline in the upcoming public sector wage negotiations could derail progress made under the Economic Reform Program.
We have made some significant gains over the years. While we have not seen any significant policy in place to address the GDP side of the equation, we have to be cautious in going forward until we can grow GDP, until we can grow that side of the equation. I think we should seriously look at holding strain and work on the productivity of the country. If that is not fixed, we're going to find ourselves between a rock and a hard place.
In the spirit of Christmas, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is giving children in state care a chance to experience the joy of travel. CPFSA Communications Manager Kristen Lang says every child deserves to feel loved, especially during the holiday season.
CPFSA, we've been mandated with the care and protection of Jamaica's children. So any children who are in need of care and protection, if they're being abused, if they're being neglected, we are in charge of providing them with the care and protection that they need. So the Supreme Ventures Foundation, they have been an absolute darling in the support that they have shown us over the past couple of years. There have been multiple programs that they've supported us with. So this Dream Flight is just one thing. We have a program called our Transitional Living Program, in which we assist children who are aging out of care. So you're going to be turning 18, becoming an adult. We assist them into adulthood. Right, so with their education, with their living arrangements,
even documents,
with their
like
documents,
a passport,
exactly,
TRN.
Exactly, and we also have or exit care.
You just heard the CPFSA has teamed up with Supreme Ventures Limited to bring holiday cheer to children in state care. Supreme Ventures PR Manager Colleen Daly Mouchette says the company hopes to make it an annual tradition.
About inspiring the children, making a difference in their lives, and we call this Dream Supreme for a reason.
Yes.
We wanted them to literally understand that no matter their current circumstances, they can dream supreme, and any dream you have, you can achieve it, right? And so we thought, how can we literally help them to see that any dream you have, you can achieve? And we thought, you know, a lot of children in state care wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to take a flight, right? That's not something that many Jamaicans have a chance to do. So we thought, let's take them down to Mobay on a bus. I gave them a grand experience there, so they had a Christmas party. It's not just the flight, you know. They had Christmas party, lovely Christmas lunch. We gave them gifts. They got a brand new smartphone.
Nice.
And then we took them on that flight from Montego Bay to Kingston, a chartered flight, so they had the full experience going through the airport. We gave them, you know, a symbolic passport.
Yes.
Got their little Polaroid photos. And really, the objective, other than just the fabulous experience, is really to help them to see that any dream that they have, they can achieve. They can dream supreme. We want to inspire them, motivate them, and we really hope that they feel that way that we feel, and it's something that we look forward to doing. This is the second year we're doing it, and who knows, we might do it again next year.
You're watching CVM News at noon. More to come.
Confident confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government-issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf, proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
AnyBet is Jamaica's premier company for in-person or online betting in Jamaica, with more than 40 locations nationwide. Enjoy more games, more bets, and more winnings at anybet.com, with access to the widest range of products to place your bets, including football, cricket, dog racing, and a host of exciting instant games that offer some of the best odds available. Chances are there's an AnyBet location near you. Must be 18 years and older. AnyBet, your best bet.
Welcome back. Residents of Mile End in St. Anne are pleading for help this Christmas, struggling with decades of bad roads, no water and poor lighting. They say despite their countless best efforts and their own hard work, safety and comfort remain out of reach. Courtney Lewis has the details.
The holiday season is upon us, but residents of 4 Road, Mile End, St. Anne are not feeling the holiday cheer as they battle a host of infrastructure issues. The roads have turned into tracks and children's playgrounds, some with deep consequences.
This is the middle of the road. Look at the wires. Not safe. Right? And this happened from the hurricane blow burial.
People have to come in from work at night and midnight, nighttime hotel people and one light. If light did even there, well, then could have seen it down, but then to one slide and mash up themselves.
The situation has proven dangerous, with wires hanging from leaning poles due to Hurricane Beryl.
We have to be asking the children to stay far from it. Persons are saying there's no current in it, but I don't want anybody to go close to it, even to find out if current is in it, because that time it will be too late.
The councillor says the road conditions make it difficult for utility providers to assist, but the poor garbage collection, torn wires, lack of consistent water supply and poor road conditions are disrupting business operations, residents' livelihood, and even causing major injuries.
I was trapped in the gully when the rain fell the last time because there was a lot of water coming through and I have to ensure my vehicle is safe and I have to park it very far, walk to my home and walk all the way back down to my vehicle. And I am a taxi operator, so I have to work daily to provide for my family.
People have to walk from way up so the vehicle them can go. Working people have it very hard to get to them. People forget to them with their luggage coming from supermarket. Oh my God. Little boy has spraying foot on the road.
The parochial roads are the responsibility of the municipal corporation, but the councillor says his advocacy has fallen short. And while the residents are making efforts to fix the roads themselves, they're now appealing publicly for help.
I even volunteer to use my trucks to take them all. The citizens promise to buy mall and all of us work together, but we just need some help.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Garbage pileups continue to trouble some communities nationwide, but the National Solid Waste Management Authority is promising to tackle the issue before year-end. Adrian Williams takes a closer look at the problem and solutions in progress.
Garbage pileup remains an issue island-wide. This is why President of the Local Government Authorities Association, ALGA-J, Winston Mirage, is suggesting a plan to accommodate garbage collection at night as a means to rectify the problem.
ALGA-J executive had decided that we would write to the NSWMA asking them to begin a new shift, to start a shift system with the drivers of the garbage trucks. So it's just, instead of having the trucks just collecting garbage between an 8-hour period during the day, that they would put on another shift, an evening shift, so we could collect garbage at nights as well.
Something Executive Director for the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, Audley Gordon, is in tandem with and has started the process.
We are moving assiduously to clear the backlogs from the communities. We have been working tirelessly, 3 trips per day in most cases, going deep into the nights. We are opening the disposal facilities for longer hours. And we are pushing hard against time because we know how important Christmas is to people. And we really want to give them the best Christmas they can in terms of the garbage collection. However, some things are beyond our control and we just have to work with it.
But what could have caused this backlog of garbage in the first place? Gordon highlighted the rains the country experienced for several weeks, making the disposal site inaccessible for the heavy-duty trucks, but says now there has been progress.
That caused a slowing down of the operations right across Jamaica. The good news is that right now we are seeing some improvement in the weather, and we have managed to create some better surface by deploying river shingles. So we have the trucks now getting in and out of the disposal site with better frequency.
With the solution reopening usual access to the disposal sites, the director pleads with the public to continue proper containerizing of their waste.
And we just ask that, the residents pay their part, don't do the undue littering. We don't need to litter. We need to take responsibility for the solid waste that we generate. We need to ensure that we dispose of our garbage responsibly. We need to properly package our garbage so that when the crew comes, they can take it up and move with efficiency.
Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News. The NHS has donated an ultrasound machine to the University Hospital of the West Indies to aid the fetal management and diagnostic processes. Adrian Williams again gives us more. With the local birth rate declining from over 40,000 to approximately 30,000, the National Health Fund, NHF, has handed over an ultrasound machine to the Fetal Diagnosis and Therapy Unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says this handover has come at an important time.
If you look at the data, which is where it all starts, and you look at the trend analysis, which is where conclusions have to be drawn, and you are a research institution, so you understand what I mean, then you have to conclude that we are going to have to invest a lot more in our capacity as a country, as a nation, to create healthy youngsters.
The new equipment will help to improve the fetal diagnostic processes to aid throughout the duration of pregnancy. Minister Tufton also added that the move is a step in the right direction as it will open job opportunities.
But when you have the equipment, you can train personnel because you now have the clinical rotation space and other technical requirements so to do.
Studies done by the National Center for Biotechnology Information states a decline in sperm count globally of more than 50%, something Tufton believes will open up rooms for other opportunities.
The science has demonstrated low sperm count and declining sperm count is introducing another set of complications. I don't know if many of us realize it, but the studies I've looked at suggest that our sperm count, and men, listen out carefully, is declining globally at a very rapid rate. That introduces another set of complications. I'm not going to tell you to drink Strongback and Irish mash and linseed and all those things. I would say use a science that is proven that allows us to understand and appreciate these things.
Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News. And in international news, Haiti remains one of the world's poorest nations, with much of its capital under gang control. Despite an international security force deployed to restore peace, gang violence has recently surged. Here's more from the BBC.
Now to Haiti, one of the poorest countries on earth, with the capital Port-au-Prince largely controlled by criminal gangs. Despite the deployment of an international security force to help restore peace, there's been a recent upsurge in gang violence, especially following the resignation of the country's third prime minister so far this year. A BBC team has travelled to the capital, and while they were there, one gang killed almost 200 civilians. Nawal Al-Maghafi, producer Jasmine Dyer and cameraman Jack Garland's report does contain graphic images you may find distressing.
Downtown Port-au-Prince, now the scene of daily street fighting between gangs vying for control. Once one of the city's most populated areas, it's now a ghost town. We're with the Kenyan police on a patrol. They're here to support the Haitian forces as part of a multinational response to restore law and order. It's not long before we come under fire.